Hello and thank you for watching. I'm Jennifer Bowman with Olympia Piano, and today's video will continue on with the Orange Dozen a Day book. We're going to be doing set 5. We're going to be doing 2 more exercises, number 3 and number 4. The way the video will be formatted is a little bit of a lesson, a few things to think about, then a slow playthrough. As we go through the score, other things might come up, and then a playthrough at tempo. Feel free to use the timestamps in the description if you want to skip ahead and work on a different exercise. So let's get started with number 3. Number 3 is called Chinning Yourself. I just love how descriptive Edna Mae Burnham is. So, if you're on a chinning bar, you're holding with 2 hands. Here, in this case, you're going to be holding with 2 fingers. And these are the weakest fingers, so this is actually way harder than it looks. So the first thing we're working on in this piece is keeping a nice shape to the hand. You see my bridge will be up, and then we're focusing on keeping 2, 3, and 4 firm at the joints. Pinky, you just do your best. You'll see in the video the pinky will kind of go in and out, which is okay. The other thing we're working on in this exercise is cross under fingering. If you look at the music, you see C, D, E, and you might think, oh, it's 1, 2, 3, but look carefully, it's 1, 2, 1, 2. So that second finger is going to be crossing under. I want to draw your attention to the bottom of the frame. The hand is basically in a semicircle, so like this, although the thumb's going to be out here and second finger is going to start a little bit up here. And that's the shape we're looking to retain through this exercise. All right, so firm hand position, retain the shape, cross under. I'll do hands separately slowly with a few things to think about, then I'll do hands together for the playthrough. I'm just going to switch the screen so you get a really close view of the side view, okay? Here's the right hand, and as I've demonstrated in other videos, I like to find my hand position by standing up on the keyboard, so I'm going to do that right now. My wrist is a little bit lower, I'm going to stand up, and I'm feeling where this bridge is. And then I'm feeling the firmness of these joints. Okay? Now, 4 and 5 are going to stay down. See how my pinky is really little kind of struggling? 4, I'm trying to keep it nice and curved. And then I'm just going to notice where the 1, the 2, and the 3 touch on the keyboard. So when the 1 comes under, it's not going to try to go in any further. It's just going to stay at the edge of the key. All right? 1, 2. A little bit more, and I'm going to try to circle my wrist around so 4 notes go together like this. Down, circle. And you might notice these fingers, they're kind of pivoting around. They're retaining contact with the keys but pivoting around, which is fine. So let's do the same thing with the left hand. So I'm going to place 4 and 5 down silently, trying to find the little semicircle with the thumb out here. And my left hand is not as strong as my right hand, so I might experience a little more jiggling on the joints with my left hand. You might too. It is very normal for people to have one hand that's stronger than the other. For me, my right hand, much stronger than my left hand. So same thing. However, the left hand's going to start with a cross under, which makes my hand start jiggling right there. So I'm going to take a few rounds just to get the fingering feel, and then I'm going to try to draw the circles. Here we go. Actually, my finger 3 is the one that's jiggling. The goal, ideally, would be to have 3 just hanging out. Okay? This is taking a lot of concentration. To draw circles here. For the left hand, it's going to go under and over. Under, over, under, over. All right, so you get the basic idea. Let's do hands together. This will be the playthrough at tempo. We're going to do 6 circles in a row at kind of a moderate tempo. All right? Hands set, taking a look at the bridge, looking at fingers 2, 3, 4, see if that first joint is solid. Here we go, get left hand underneath at the edge of that C. Ready, go. Let me know how you did with that one in the comments. Next is exercise 4, cartwheels. We've got a few things to look at. The first is the harmony, which incidentally is the same as deep breathing. So I'm not going to really go into it here except to point out one difference. We have that diminished chord in measure 1, and in deep breathing that resolved to a 3-note chord. Here, we're going to resolve that to a 4-note chord, keeping that A on the top, and I'm going to call this chord C6. Just adding the 6th scale degree to that chord, that keeps that A consistent and gives each hand 4 notes to play, so it can stay nice and smooth. For fingering, I think right hand's going to do 1, 2, 3, 5, 1, 2, 4, 5, whereas left hand 5, 3, 2, 1, 5, 3, 2, 1. Left hand will just kind of slide up with the same fingers, but right hand will actually switch. Item 2 is hand position. For this one, we're going to be playing on the tip portion of the fingers, right here at the tips, not the full finger pad, except for the last measure. We will roll up on that last measure. To find where to play on the tips, simply put your hand in position, keep your wrist a little bit lower, then roll up and find the grip point where your hands are really gripping the keys. Next is the pedal. I go into that in detail in video number 1. Quickly here, we play the note first, then pedal. Hand down, foot up, down. Hopefully you can hear that. It's a little bit loud on the grand piano. Probably the trickiest element of this exercise is making sure that you don't get stuck in position and then take a bunch of time to move. So what do I mean by that? A lot of students, when they first are learning this piece, will play great on beats 1 and 2. And then there's a big gap between beat 2 and beat 3. We want to get in the habit of moving right away. So the best way to practice eliminating that gap for the crossover is to block the chords, moving the hand right away. So we're going to do that together one time, just double checking all the notes, and then we'll do a slow playthrough and a quick playthrough. So here we go with the blocking, and let's do it with the pedal. So we have left hand, right hand play, left hand move, find that C on the bottom. Left hand, find the low C, right hand, same thing. By the way, I've memorized this because it's just the same chords, so I'm looking at my hands, trying to find my positions. Now here, this one looks different, but it feels similar. Bottom note is G, kind of in between the 3 black keys. Now we've got G7. The thumbs are going to be kind of like touching with a whole step in between. And then fingering here, 4, 2, 2, 5. Switch the pedal, down an octave. And then left hand's going to play the lowest C on the piano because you see there's that little 8 underneath. Then the final thing I'd like for you to pay attention to for this particular exercise is passing through the notes. So we're playing on the tips, but we're going to involve our wrist instead of just playing them one at a time. We're going to keep our hands very close to the keys and roll the wrists through. There's going to be 2 options for the roll through. Generally, if you're on the black keys, we're going to kind of roll over the top. Watch my wrist. See how it kind of goes up? And with the right hand, same thing. When you switch to the white keys, same thing with the left hand, you're still going to go over the top. Right hand has 2 choices here. So right hand could go over the top and mirror the left hand, or the right hand might feel more comfortable going under here. So then the left hand will go over, under. Just know that you have a choice for the right hand on those measures. All right, slow playthrough. Here we go. So focusing on being on the tips, rolling through with the wrist, moving the hand as soon as it's done playing. So as I go through slowly, I'm gonna do the second right hand wrist under, so you can just see both of them, and then you can figure out which one works for you. Okay, pedals getting down, 3 and 4 and. Over, move quickly. Right hand's gonna wrist over this time. Now I'll do right hand under for the wrist. Switch to G. Now we'll do the quick playthrough, and it's going to be a little bit lighter, so it's not going to feel as loud, passing through the keys a little bit more. I'm going to add some dynamics to this one, so I'm going to play those diminished chords a little bit louder, because they are the chords that have more tension, and then they resolve, a little less tension. And then the G, which is farther away from home, I'm going to play that one more loudly, and then I'm going to do a big crescendo to the end, so we end loudly on that low C. So quick playthrough, here we go. Getting my pedal ready. My hands are going to move quickly. It's going to feel lighter. 1, 2, ready, go. So that was Cartwheels. Thank you very much for watching this video of the Dozen a Day. This was the second video for set 5. I am going to complete this whole book, so be on the lookout for those videos. I hope you will share this with others who might enjoy this style of teaching. Feel free to mention at your social media. You can even donate to the channel if you're finding this especially useful. There's a couple ways to do that, PayPal or Super Thanks. And the other thing I want to mention is very soon I'm going to have these Dozen a Days, these exact ones that have been on YouTube, available for like a download for a very small fee. So if you're in a situation where you don't have Wi-Fi or consistent internet, there's going to be an app where you can just download them and use them at your convenience. Let me know in the comments if that's of interest to you so I can let you know when that is posted. Of course, I love to know where you're from. Leave that for me in the comments. And as always, thank you for watching.